Good afternoon, dear students. Today we are going to see about the carbon compounds. In that, IUPAC nomenclature and preparation of ethyl alcohol we are going to see. Okay. So far we are continuation of the carbon compounds. It's a big lesson. In that, we are going to see about that IUPAC nomenclature, how to name them, and then preparation of ethyl alcohol. Let us start the class today. IUPAC. Why it comes? In organic chemistry, it is a very essential area. Without knowing this, you cannot learn chemistry, first of all. Then, IUPAC, why it comes? No. On those days, in ancient days, they are naming the compounds based on their sources. For example, if you take formic acid comes from the sources name redant. In Greek, redant is called formica. So, the acid is derived from those sources. They are named as a formic acid. So, it is making lot of trouble while you come on the worldwide. So, they have changed. The scientists sit together. They come to the conclusion that we need to have a common naming system for the entire universe. The chemists sit together. They have planned a committee. The committee is called as a IUPAC, International Union for Pure and Applied Chemistry. International Union for Pure and Applied Chemistry. It says what? How to name. Simply we cannot name without rules and regulation. There are certain rules and regulation. What are the terms involved in the rules and regulation of the IUPAC system that we are going to see today? First of all, the IUPAC system contains three main parts. One is a prefix, then root word, and then suffix. First of all, we are going to take about the root word. What is called root word? Simply, it is number of carbon present in that compound. That is called root word. Root word is nothing but a number of carbon present in the parent chain, not the entire compound, in a main skeleton or parent chain. What is called parent chain? Parent chain is nothing but the long chain of the compound. Carbon chain is which is a long chain, that is called the parent chain. How many carbons are there in the parent chain? That is called root word. So the root words are named like this: meth, eth, prop, but, pent, hex, kept, oct, non, dec. See, if there is only one carbon, that is called meth. If there is two carbons in a parent chain, that is called eth. Three carbon, that is called prop. If there is a 4 carbon in it, that is called but. If there is a 5 carbon, pent. 6 carbon, hex. 7 carbon, kept. 8 carbon, oct. 9 carbon, nonane or nonane. 10 carbon, decane. Like this it will go. After 4, these are some other special naming. After 4, this contains only a Greek numeral. Pent for 5, hex for 6, that you know very well. These 4s are special naming. These are root words. So, minimum 10th standard level, you should know minimum 10. There are hundreds of root words are there. Minimum 10, if you know, it is more than enough for 10th level. So, you should memorize all those things. If there is only one carbon, that is called meth, eth, 2 carbon, 3 carbon for prop, 4 carbon for but, 5 carbon for pent, hex, kept, oct, nonane, decane. Like this it will go. Okay. Then prefix. What is called prefix? The branches are other than the parent compound which are present in a main compound, they are called a prefix. For example, all halogens, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, these all come under the prefix. Other than that, methyl, ethyl and so on. These are the come under the prefix. Prefix is the word which should be added before the root word, that is called a prefix. Then suffix. In suffix there are two classification are there: primary suffix, secondary suffix. The suffix are classified into two. One is a primary, another one is a secondary. The primary suffix, in primary suffix we have to say about the nature of the hydrocarbon. Suffix which is added after the root word, prefix which is added before the root word, suffix is which is added after the root word. It further classified into two: primary suffix and a secondary suffix. Okay. What are the primary suffix? The nature of the hydrocarbon gives you a primary suffix. You need to analyze the compound belongs to the which nature. It may be a alkane, alkene or alkyne. Among these three will come, which is the nature of the hydrocarbon. If there is only single bond, that is called alkane, ANE should be added. If it is a double bonded compound, it is alkene, ENE should be added. If it is a triply bonded carbon compound, then is a ONE added. These three are come under the primary suffix. For a single bonded carbon single bond present, only carbon single bond alone in that compound, it is come under the alkane categorized. So ANE should be added. ANE as a primary suffix. Then there is a doubly bonded alkane, then ENE should be added. ENE is a primary suffix. If there is a triple bonded, then ONE should be added as a suffix. These are the primary suffix. What about the secondary suffix? Secondary suffix is nothing but a functional group present in that of the organic compound. What is the functional group present in that organic compound? That is called a secondary suffix. What are the functional group? There are many functional groups are there. The familiar functional groups are OH, alcoholic group, then ether, OR, then aldehyde, CHO, that is RCHO, ketone, RCOR, then acid. Not only these, there are many. For example, I am writing these like, these are basic functional groups: alcoholic functional group, ether functional group, aldehyde functional group, keto functional group, acid functional group. All functional groups are come under the category of secondary suffix. Then how to name? Naming is nothing but we have to fix, we have to find all those things in a given compound. What else we need required? You fractionate them. What is prefix, what is suffix, what is the root word, all those compo, you will get a IUPAC nomenclature. Okay. Once again, these terms you should be very thorough enough, only you can name them. Again, IUPAC name, it is classified into three main constituent. What are they? Prefix, root word, suffix. In a prefix, you will find the all halogens. What is called prefix? Other than the main carbon compound, the parent chain, or otherwise we can say the branching in a parent chain, they are called a prefix. For example, halogen, fluorine, chlorine, bromine, iodine, methyl, ethyl, and so on. These are called a prefix. Root word, it is a fundamental unit of IUPAC nomenclature, because root word only the capture point of the naming. What is called root word? Simply we can say number of carbon present in a main chain or parent skeleton, that is called a root word. Not the entire compound having many number of carbons. We need to find the main skeleton. In main skeleton, how many carbons are there? That is called root word. For example, if there is only one carbon, that is come under the meth. If there is two carbons, come under the eth, prop, so on like this. Okay, that is root word. Again, let us move on to suffix. What do the suffix says? Suffix after the root word. Prefix before the root word, suffix after the root word, you will get a IUPAC name. Suffix, there are further it is classified into two types. One is a primary suffix, another one is a secondary suffix. The primary suffix says that nature of the hydrocarbon in that organic compound. The nature of the hydrocarbon, already you have studied in the last class. The hydrocarbon may be classified into three: alkane, alkane, alkyne. What is hydrocarbon first? First of all, hydrocarbon is nothing but the compound which are contain hydrogen and carbon. They are called hydrocarbon. Okay, simple. Hydrocarbon. Hydrogen and carbon is there, that is called hydrocarbon. The hydrocarbon may be classified into two types: saturated and unsaturated. What is called saturated? The carbon-carbon single bonded, or the hydrocarbon which obeying CnH2n plus 2 rule. That is called saturated. That is alkane. The unsaturated hydrocarbon, there are separate formulas are there that you know very well in the last classes. They further classified into alkene and alkyne. These are the nature of hydrocarbon. Totally, we can classify the nature of the hydrocarbon into three types. One is alkane, carbon-carbon single bond. Another one is alkene, carbon-carbon double bond. Another one is alkyne, carbon-carbon triple bond. If the primary suffix we are taking these three, we need to analyze in that organic compound whether carbon-carbon single bond only or carbon-carbon double bond presence or a carbon-carbon triple bond presence. If there is a carbon-carbon single bond alone in the entire organic compound, then organic compound, the primary suffix should be given as a ANE. Then if there is a double bonded chances there, then that organic compound should be given a ENE, primary suffixes. Then ONE for a triple bonded. That is primary suffix. Then let us move on to the secondary suffix. What is called secondary suffix again? Secondary suffix is nothing but what is the functional group present in that organic compound. It gives you a secondary suffix. It is dependent upon the functional group. So for a lot of functional groups are there in organic compound. Let us see the alcoholic functional group OH present, then ether functional group, aldehyde, ketone, acid. These are fundamental. There are many functional groups are there. Before the 10th level we can concentrate all those three. Okay, these are the components involved in IUPAC name. Now I think it is a formula we need to substitute there. If you clear with that, we can go for the practice. Are you ready for the practice? Okay, let us move the practice. Based on the simplest compound. This is the first and ever simplest organic compound, we can say methane. Okay, what are the rules says? IUPAC says we need to find the prefix, root word, suffix. If any other thing, only one carbon, it is the simplest compound, you cannot go for a prefix and all. There is no branches, only one carbon. This is a main carbon or parent carbon. So only one carbon. The root word says, what is the root word for only one carbon? Meth. Meth is a root word. Okay, there is no prefix and all because only one carbon, 4 hydrogen. It's simplest organic compound. It is not necessary always there should be some prefixes. That is not necessary that. Meth. Then we need to find it is alkane or alkene. Suffix, we need to move on suffix. There are two suffixes are there, primary and secondary. Primary is a nature of hydrocarbon, secondary is a functional group. If there is any additional functional group, no functional group. If there is no chance of secondary suffix, only primary suffix. You know very well it is alkane, so it should be added ANE. So simple way to name this compound, methane, methane. You need not memorize CH4 methane, methane. If you go on memorize, you cannot memorize because there are lakhs and lakhs of organic compounds are there. If you start memorize, your brain will burst out. So just learn the technique how to name them. That is a must. Here one carbon meth, the root word meth, suffix ANE, methane. Simple. That's all. Then let us move on to the next. Now look at this. Here also no extra prefixes. All are only carbon compound. 1, 2, 3. 3 carbons are there. Only 3 carbons are there. 3 carbons, the root word prop. prop. This is also come under the alkane, suffix alkane, so propane. So 3 carbon prop, ANE propane. So simple. So far it is not a trouble we have. The trouble arises when more than 3 carbons. See here. Okay. Now you got everything. There is a branching, more than 3 carbon. There is a trouble, challenge for you. How to name? First you need to find the parent carbon. Here, left to right or right to left you can number them, but a long chain that should be a parent. If you number, I'm going always left to right, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here one branching, this is called branching, which is not included in the parent, they are called as a branch. There is a prefix. We have seen list of the prefix and the list of the in the last place I have written that methyl and ethyl. Say methyl, CH3, methyl is a substituent or branched from the parent. So this is called a prefix. The methyl group is a prefix. So totally entirely 4 carbon. So what is the, if you follow the rules, root word, or you write the prefix first methyl. CH3 is called a methyl. Methyl. Where the methyl is in the location of methyl should be mentioned. 2 methyl. Why I am saying the 2 methyl? In the second carbon, methyl is branched. We need to locate the position of the substituent first. The methyl group located at the second carbon. So 2 methyl. Again root word 1, 2, 3, 4 bute. It is a hydrocarbon, that is a alkane. 2 methyl butane. So again I am clearly explaining you, this is a compound, one branch, methyl is a branch, branching groups all are combined with the prefix, then you should write the before the root word, that is methyl. In the prefix you need to keen about that the location of the prefix or location of the functional group should be mentioned properly. Then only you will get a correct IUPAC name. So here second place the substituent is present. What is the substituent? Methyl. So 2 methyl, total number of carbon 4, bute, it is a alkane, so ANE, 2 methyl butane. So till more further examples if you see, you will clear with enough the alkanes. You cannot have a long chain as a straight one. There may be a branching also, you will find that a long chain. So the finding the root word or parent chain, you have to keen about the numbering. If you always start with numbering 1, 2, 3, you may go wrong, because in the main chain should be having the more number of carbon. The possibility way of the, you have to find the possibilities, then find the which line will have a more number of carbon, that line should be taken. Here only 3 carbons, so it is not correct way to numbering them. Then let me try another way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now I am getting long chain as a 5 carbon. The long chain included with a 5 carbon. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So it is a correct way. Why it is correct? Because I am getting that more number of carbon in a parent chain. First I have numbered only 3 carbons come under the main chain. But see now 5 carbons are including in the parent. So this is a correct way. Then what about this? This is called branching. You always branching means something other than that main line. It is not so. This is our main line. So other than main line all are called as a branching. So methyl is branching there. Branching always come under the prefix. What is the location of the prefix? You find in second carbon it is there. So 2 methyl 2 methyl, total number of carbon 5, pent. It is hydrocarbon, so pentane. So this is the name for this compound, 2-methyl pentane. 2-methyl pentane. 2-methyl pentane. These are the naming about alkane. Let us see few examples for alkene. Alkene, simplest alkene, C2H4. This is called condensed way of giving formula. If they give, you may be getting trouble. You have to elaborate it, then only it will be easy to name them. There you will not find a double bond or triple bond or single bond. That is, nothing is there. By seeing this, you can come to the conclusion that this alkene, should be like this. Then it is easy to name them. Okay, C2H4. It is easy to name them. Then, as usual, what you do? If there is parent carbon only 2 mean eth. Eth. It is come under the alkene. Alkene, what I said that in a primary suffix ene should be added. Ethene. Ethene. Ene. If there is any prefix, no. Secondary suffix, no. That's all. So ethene is the name. IUPAC name ethene. Then one more example for this. CH3, CH double bond, CH2. See here. In alkene, you have to keen about the numbering. You cannot go with left to right always. You cannot do that. If there is any functional group or substituent very close to that, you have to number that first. Okay. If I giving number 1, 2, 3, it is not correct way. Why? Because the double bonded present at the extreme right, we have to start from there. So numbering should be given 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. That's all. Is there any prefix? No prefix. All are come under the main chain. So 3 carbon prop. Ene. Before that, if there is we need to mention the place of the double bond. It is in first carbon. So prop 1 ene. Simply we can say propane or 1 propane or prop 1 ene. It's a proper way to mention that. Again, one more example. CH3, CH double bond, CH, CH3. How to name this? Here, if I go 1, 2, 3, 4, left to right or right to left, both are equal, no problem. Both ways correct, because in a second carbon only you are getting that double bond. If we go like this 1, 2, 3, 4, second carbon having double bond. Okay. If we come like this 1, 2, second carbon having double bond, there is no trouble at all. Okay. Both ways are correct. Then what to do? Total number of carbon, that is root word. Is there any prefix? No prefix. No worry. Then let us move on to the root word. 4 carbon. 4 carbon, it is bute. You cannot see but. In a chemistry, in a IUPAC system, BUT, bute. Okay. In a IUPAC system, not always. Then bute. Here it is a double bonded, so ENE. So location of the double bond must be mentioned here. In second place there is a double bond, so bute-2-ene. Bute-2-ene or 2-butene. 2-butene or bute-2-ene. This is a way of naming alkenes. Let us move on to naming alkyne. The simplest alkyne, acetylene. Okay, the condensed formula they may give C2H2. By looking this formula, you apply the general formula rule, then you find that is a alkane or alkene or alkyne. After analysis that, I am come to the conclusion it should be a alkane. There must be a carbon-carbon triple bond. Okay, carbon-carbon triple bond. Then let us move on to the naming. As usual, if there is any first parent carbon root word, only 2 carbon, so eth, any prefix and suffix you need to find. There is no prefix at all. Prefix is nothing but other than that of the parent. This is a parent, there is nothing is there as a prefix, leave it. Then suffix, primary suffix, we need to go triply bonded present. Triply bonded present mean we need to put a Y and E. So the total name ethine. So if you relate and study, it will be easy. See, C2H6 alkane, that is ethane, eth A-N-E. C2H4 alkene, this is ethene, E-N-E. C2H2, that is alkyne, ethine. Now it will be very clear how to name this. See, A-N-E, E-N-E, Y-N-E, but a different compound. While you pronounce also, you may be very keen about that. Otherwise, you may go wrong. Ethane, ethene, ethyne. There are difference in the pronouncing. A-N-E, ethane, ethene, ethyne. Okay. This is way how to name the hydrocarbons. One more example for alkyne. CH3, CH, triple bond, CH, CH3. If you take. What is the systematic analysis to name this root word? You need to find the root word. 1, 2, 3, 4. First number them. 1, 2, 3, 4. While after the numbering, you have to see whether the triple bonded is very closest. That is the correct way of numbering. If you see 1 to second carbon triple bond, if the another possibility is there, if you do that numbering like this, if you see there also second carbon, so no way. Left to right or right to left, both are correct. Leave it. Then root word bute. Bute. What is the nature of the hydrocarbon? That is a primary suffix. Triply bonded carbon, ONE should be added. Butane. Where this triply bonded placed in a second carbon, so the place should be butane or 2-butane. That is the way to naming the alkane. That is a IUPAC name of the alkane. It should be like this. Okay. Now it is clear how to give a IUPAC name for hydrocarbon alone. We have seen so far how to name the IUPAC name for the hydrocarbon: alkane, alkene, alkyne. Then let us start with some functional groups. Let us deal with alcohol. OH. Now look at the example. CH3OH. What your mind says, find the root word, only one carbon, meth. There is no change at all, meth. Okay, good. Then it is generally there is no double bond, triple bond, so it is alkane. So ANE, methane. Okay. The special name, suffix, primary suffix ANE, secondary suffix. Secondary, what is called secondary suffix? Secondary suffix is nothing but the functional group present in an organic compound. What is the functional group? OH functional group. OH is nothing but alcohol. So we need to add a OL. OL to that. OL to that. That is a secondary functional group. Now you cannot write all both like this, because the two vowels cannot get together. So we need to strike this E. Finally, the name will be methanol. This is a IUPAC name. So once again I am repeating this root word, number of carbon, meth, it is saturated, so ANE, methane. OH is there, that is secondary suffix. OL should be added, OL. After this, the E should be eliminated, you have to write methanol. Likewise, if we go C2H5OH, that is condensed form, if they give like this, you write this elaborated way, then it is very easy for you to close. Nothing but C2H5 I have elaborately write that, abbreviated that CH3 CH2OH. Okay. Then finding the root word 2 carbon eth. Is there any special double bonds? No. So it is come under the alkane ethane. OH, OL should be added, E should be eliminated. As a result, ethanol. Ethanol. Okay. Then one more example for this. CH3 OH. Now you consider this. You cannot say always the function should be come on the terminal. It can come anywhere else. Okay. Non-terminal functional groups are there. Now number this 1, 2, 3. There is a parent hydrocarbon. 3 carbons, parent skeleton. There is another way, no way. This is only one way. Then what is the root word? Prop. There is any special double bond? No. So it is a propane. Single bond alkane only. OH is there. Where the OH is located? This is must. Where the OH is present. The OH is present at a second carbon. So 2 OL. The E should be eliminated. So what is the name? Propane 2-ol or 2-propanol? 2-propanol. Otherwise, I want to write there only 2. You can write. That's correct. Propane 2-ol. One more example. This is a complete example which will give you all information to name the IUPAC. Why? Because there is a prefix, there is a suffix also. Both are combined. This is the first example we have seen so far. Simple example we have seen. This is a all in one. Prefix, suffix, root word. So no need not bother about this. First of all, you find the root word. What is the root word? Main carbon skeleton. Long form of the carbon chain is a root word. If I go 1, 2, 3, there is a long form, 3 carbons. Always keep on mind that your first carbon very closest to the functional group are substituent. That is logic. See, if I number this 1, 2, 3, the third carbon only having the functional group OH. So it is wrong. So what to do, sir? The functional group should be first carbon. So 1, 2, 3. This is a correct way. Okay. Then is there anything else? Yes, there is a branching. Methyl branching is there. So substituent. Prefix is there. What is the suffix? OH. The functional group is a functional group. OH is there. So let us name them. What is the formula? Write the root word. Root word 3 carbon. 1, 2, 3. 3 carbon. 3 carbon mean prop. Okay. Any prefix is there. One methyl group is present as a substituent, that is called prefix. Where the prefix is, the location of the prefix is second carbon. So 2-methyl propane OL. The OL where OH in the first carbon. E should be eliminated, 1 should be added. 2-methyl propanol or 2-methyl 1-propanol. 2-methyl 1-propanol. Till one more example for alcohol. Let us see. CH3 OH. See, this was somewhat a complicated structure. If it seems nothing is there. What is our purpose? Long chain carbon we need to find. Simple way, you find this 1, 2, 3. 3 carbon. Sir, why are numbering like this top to bottom? Anywhere, top to bottom, left to right, right to left, anywhere you go. But I need a long form of the carbon chain. That too, very closest to the functional group. Okay, that may be correct. Then what is the functional group? Alcoholic functional group is present, is there, OH. So OL should be added. Is there anything else left over? Yes, methyl branching is left over, CH3, methyl branching. So methyl branching is there, so prefix is there, suffix is there, root word we can give name. So where the methyl, second place, 2-methyl, total number of carbon in a parent 3, so 2-methyl prop. Where is the OH is present? Second place, ANE, propane, 2-ol, then E should be eliminated, that is a name, 2-methyl propane 2-ol, or 2-methyl 2-propanol. This is naming about that alcohols. For time convenient, let us see the functional group one by one. For one example, for aldehyde, RCHO, this is aldehyde functional group. Let me write like this, CH3, CHO, this is aldehyde. Organic compound which contains CHO, that is called aldehyde functional group. So as usual, what is our rules? To find that root word, how many carbons are there? 2 carbon. 2 carbon mean eth. It is a hydrocarbon alkane, saturated only, so ethane. E should be eliminated, not OL, here AL. For alcohol, we add a OL. For aldehyde, we need to add a AL. So finally, the name is ethanol. So ethanol. It is ethanol, C2H5OH. It is ethanol, CH3CHO. It is alcohol, it is aldehyde. Difference we must know. Then for a ketone functional group. For ketone functional group, let me have a acetone. The compound which are in CO, that is ketone. How to name them? 1, 2, 3. 3 carbons. So prop. Hydrocarbon, that is a primary suffix propane. For keto, if there is a keto functional group, we should add a ONE, 1. So total name propanone. So one more example, because it seems somewhat trouble for you, I will give one more example for keto. Okay, see here, 1, 2, 3, 4. If you go right to left, it is wrong, because second carbon CO, if you give third carbon, no, it will come CO. So the left to right is correct numbering. Bute, N, ONE, second carbon, E should be eliminated. So bute 2, 1. Or 2 butanone, or simply it may write like this, 2 butanone. Okay. More examples in our regular class we can see. Then for acid, simply acetic acid. Before that, formic acid, because in the introduction itself I explained formic acid, right? So find the number of carbon in that. Only 1 carbon is there. So root word methane, hydrocarbon methane. For acid functional group, oic acid, OIC, acid should be added. So then if you name the methanoic acid, this is called a methanoic acid. Likewise, let us name this acetic acid. How to give a name for acetic acid? Number of carbon 2, 1, 2. Okay, so eth, hydrocarbon ANE, ethane, oic acid. So totally ethanoic acid. You not write E and eliminate it. Simply you can write ethanoic acid. Then if you practice so on, for our practice purpose, I am writing and striking the E. You always don't write E and eliminating E and showing that your answer. That is not necessary. If they ask name, you do rough work and find that ethanoic acid, propionic acid, butanoic acid, like this you could go on. So that's all about the IUPAC nomenclature for your level. Okay. Further more examples in our regular classes, and you go through your book. There you may find some examples, few other than that, which I given to you. You work it out and it will be clear for you. Next, let us move on to the preparation of ethyl alcohol. If we say alcohol, then it is a common thing, well-known thing, it is come in your mind, that is ethyl alcohol. If alcohol, it seems ethyl alcohol, because it is used commonly the next to that of the water as a solvent. After the water is a universal solvent, you cannot compare with any other solvent to that. After that, in the most cases, alcohol is used, that is ethyl alcohol. It is used in the medicinal purpose, beverages and so on. So it is very, very important class of compound in alcoholic group, ethyl alcohol, that we need to detail study about the ethyl alcohol. Today, in our class, we are going to see about that preparation alone. The physical property and chemical property and uses and all, you may see in the next classes. How it is prepared from the molasses. First of all, what is called molasses? Molasses. It is mother liquor left over after the crystallization of sugar in a sugarcane industry. There they are extracting from sugarcane, they are extracting sugar. No, after that they are extracting so on. Finally, the mother liquor, leftover liquor, which cannot the sucrose which cannot separated by this, that is called molasses. That is leftover liquor is called molasses. It contains nearly 30% of sucrose. It contains nearly 30% of sucrose. The first step, what we are going to do is dilute them. By adding the water, we are diluting them. If you diluted, the diluted liquid contains 8 to 10% of sugar. Okay. After that, what you do, you add a yeast, nitrogenous phases are there. So what are them? Yeast, then ammonium sulfate, ammonium phosphate. Okay, ammonium sulfate and ammonium phosphate, this you add in this liquid. What is going to happen? Fermentation going to happen. If you take the tank, fermenting tank, okay, you are keeping with the diluted liquid, then you add all those yeast and ammonium sulfate and ammonium phosphate and all, there is a fermentation takes place. What is called fermentation? First of all, the bigger organic molecule fractioning into the smaller organic molecule, that is called a fermentation by the using a biocatalyst enzyme. If for the fermentation, organic molecule we can break bigger one to small. If you use a enzyme as a catalyst, that is called in anaerobic condition, it will happen, that is called fermentation. The larger molecule fragmented into smaller part, that is called fermentation by using biocatalyst. So this is called a fermentation tank. It is a very slow process. It may take weeks and weeks or hours and hours you can take. It is a very, very slow process. What is happening, sir? There, if you take sucrose C12H22O11, that is molecular formula for the sucrose. When it is added in a fermented tank, the enzyme invertase, what is produced? It produces glucose and fructose. glucose and fructose. Glucose and fructose first. After getting glucose and fructose, the enzyme cymase is added. If you add this enzyme, it is further fragmented into ethyl alcohol. This process is called a fermentation. Why it is called fermentation? The larger organic compound. See here C12 breaking into C6 fragmented by using catalyst. What is catalyst? Enzyme. What is enzyme used here? Invertase. The biocatalyst used to fragment the bigger organic molecule, that is called a fermentation. So this process is called a fermentation. It should take place in a fermented tank, that is closed vessel. It will take 3 to 4 days or more than hours. It consumes lot of hours. Okay. After this, you are getting this, the liquid ethyl alcohol, that is a wash. That liquid is called a wash. Technically they are called as a wash. It contains 15 to 18% of ethyl alcohol. See now, you can get pure ethyl alcohol here. Nearly 20% ethyl alcohol are there. First of all, in the molasses, 30% of sucrose is there. We are come down the level of sucrose there 8 to 10. After that, we are adding these stuffs are there into the fermented tank. The fermentation carried out. After the carried out, we are getting ethyl alcohol. The ethyl alcohol too, not fully ethyl alcohol, we are having the 15 to 18%. We need a full percentage of ethyl alcohol. Further, the technique in the wash is fractional distillation. Undergoing fractional distillation, you are getting rectified spirit. Rectified spirit is nothing but a 95.5% of ethyl alcohol plus 4.5% of water. That is called rectified spirit. Further, it is distillate over, distillation undergoing, you are getting 100% of ethyl alcohol. Okay, 100% of ethyl alcohol. This is called a absolute alcohol. It is called a absolute alcohol. Once again, I am recollecting this, how we are preparing ethyl alcohol from the molasses. See, molasses, the mother liquor left over after the crystallization of sugar in a sugarcane industry. That if you take that liquid, the liquid contains 30% of sucrose in it. 30% of sucrose. We need to dilute them. The level of sucrose should be diluted by using water. After dilution, you may get that 8 to 10% of sugar there, that is sucrose is present. If you add the yeast, ammonium sulfate and ammonium phosphate, why the necessary of ammonium sulfate and ammonium phosphate and all? Ammonium sulfate and ammonium phosphates are a food for yeast. These are nitrogenous base, nitrogen content bases. They are enhance the process of yeast. That only they are called as a food for yeast. Yeast contains a more enzyme into that, invertase, cymase and all, that is a constituent of yeast. If you put the liquid into the fermented tank, then the fermentation carried out. During the fermentation, what is happening there? The bigger organic molecule is fractioned into smaller in an anaerobic condition by using the biocatalyst, that is called fermentation. The definition of fermentation is nothing but the higher or bigger organic molecule fragmented into smaller one by using the biocatalyst like enzymes. Okay. See here, sucrose C12 is using invertase, the enzyme, it is converted to C6, fragment into smaller carbon. Then C6 further using Cymase you are getting C2H5OH. This is our motive to prepare a ethyl alcohol we have prepared here, ethyl alcohol. But if the ethyl alcohol is not in the pure form, it contains only 15 to 18% of ethyl alcohol, not more than 20%. So what to do, sir? We need to further rectify it. So we are going to rectify by using fractional distillation. The process is called a fractional distillation. If you do the fractional distillation, you are getting the rectified spirit. Rectified spirit, the percentage of rectified spirits contain 95.5% of ethyl alcohol and 4.5% of water. Further, you need 100% of ethyl alcohol. You go to the distillation. Again, you are getting that 100% of ethyl alcohol. That is nothing but a absolute alcohol. That's all about the preparation of ethyl alcohol. In next classes, you can deal with the physical and chemical property and uses of ethyl alcohol.